this is Eslin. Welcome back, my fishies. Today we're going to cook butternut squash. I've already chopped it up, as you can see, to save time. I've chopped it up, and I have my water boiling already, and I'm going to fix it like sweet potatoes. This is my first time cooking butternut squash, so we're going to try it together. So, like I said, when you have the steaming pot, always the way. I'm just going to add my butternut squash in here. Stays all on top so I can steam it. You can also roast it in the oven. And I think you can also boil it. But today I'm just gonna be steaming it today, not boiling it. I'm gonna sit these over here. Set those aside. Okay, now what I have here is I have about maybe a half a cup of brown sugar, a half to 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And in here I have a teaspoon of cardamom, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm going to mix those together. I'm going to mix it all together with the potatoes once they get done. And I also have about maybe 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So once these get done steaming, I'm going to mix them in a bowl. I'm going to put them in a bowl, and I'm going to mix it with that, put the butter, then I'm going to put them in the oven just for a few minutes, just for a few minutes, just to heat them up. Now, butternut squash can be like a side dish, or you can make it a whole meal, from what I understand. You could, just stuff it. It had seeds in it. You can take the seeds, like you do the pumpkin seeds, and clean them and roast them. I haven't tried it yet. I didn't try it this time, but maybe next time I will. And a lot of the squash have the seeds like that. The spaghetti squash we cooked, it didn't have the seeds quite. I don't think you can roast those seeds, but you might be able to. I'm not too sure. I'm not an expert on it. Somebody else, if you know, you can let me know. You can drop it in the comments for me. So like I said, we're going to let these here steam up a bit. I'm going to spread them out a little bit more so it can cook a little faster for us. Yes, cardamom, you normally don't put it in there, but Food Network, I like the Food Network. There was a chef, Tiffany Deary. She put a little bit of cardamom in her sweet potatoes. So I said, if she put it in sweet potatoes, maybe I'll try it in the butternut squash. Since they said that the butternut squash and the sweet potatoes are very similar. Very similar. I'm going to get a fork so I can just test them to see, when they're done, how fast they're cooking. Oh yeah, that's they're cooking up. They're steaming up pretty fast. I did cook the delicado squash. That was delicious. I didn't eat it all. It's in Trusty Food Saver. I use my Food Saver for a lot of stuff. And I can let you know right now that I'm not going to eat all of this butternut squash today. And it will go in a Food Saver for later that goes into the freezer. Now, one thing about that is very good because, if you get busy or company drops in, you have stuff left over in the freezer, all you have to do is heat it up. With the Food Saver, you can either boil it, you can put it in the microwave, or you can just open it and just put it in the oven or skillet or whatever you need to do. The thing about that is almost always done. But what I like to do is not cook it all the way. Just under. So when you heat it up, it won't be overdone or dry. That's just a little tip that I learned. Just undercook it just a little bit, especially if you know you're not going to eat it all. The part that you know you're going to eat, cook it all the way. You can take the rest of it out, let it cool. Always let it cool before you put it in the Food Saver bag because these are plastic. I mean, you probably could put it hot, but I let it cool. Then I seal it up so it can stay fresh. Now, I'm just going to test these one more time. They're almost good enough for me to put into the oven. Uh-oh, a couple of them fell off of my tray here. Don't want them in the water. Because in the water is considered boiling, not steaming. So I want to take these pieces out of the water that fell off when I was moving it around. There. Well, maybe I should stop moving it around. Yes, those are almost done. There are more different kinds of squash. The acorn squash. I haven't had the pleasure of cooking an acorn squash yet. I think I will. I'll pick one up, and I think we're going to stuff it. I think the next squash we will prepare, we might stuff it, just to taste and see how the stuffed squash are. Okay, now I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the sink, and I'm going to drain it out a bit, and I'm going to put it on a sheet. I'm going to put it in the bowl. Okay, steaming pot, always the way. So I'm going to take this over here. I'll be right back. I just want to put it into the bowl. That way I can steam it. Roast it in the oven a little bit. The butter and the cinnamon and the sugar will all melt on it. And then it'll just be so delicious. Yep, just let me get this out over here. Now, turn that fire off. As you can see, this is very hot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in my brown sugar. What's it come out? I'll put in the brown sugar. Then I'll put in this is my nutmeg and my cinnamon and coriander. Put that in there. Toss this on here a bit. Mixing up the sugar and stuff, breaking it up. Then I'm going to take the butter, and I'm just going to add it to it. Then I'm just going to stir it. Now, oh, the smell-o-vision. Can you smell that? Oh, that smells so good. It smells just like you're making a sweet potato pie. Oh, it's got, the cardamom, the cinnamon. Oh, man, it smells so good. I'm just going to toss it so it's evenly coated. Let's evenly coat this squash here. Oh my goodness, it smells delicious. One thing I didn't add maybe, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get a little bit of vanilla. We're just going to add just a couple drops, not too much. You don't want to overdo it with the vanilla. Just a couple drops, yeah. You can overdo it with the vanilla. It can take your flavor way out. So now we're going to mix it up with the vanilla. Doesn't that look good? Doesn't that look just like sweet potatoes? That looks so good. My roast in my pan over here. Now, I've already coated it with butter, so I don't think it's going to stick. So what we're going to do, we're just going to pour it all on a sheet pan here. Oh, that looks nice and lovely, doesn't it? Get all of that sugar and all of that stuff on there. The brown sugar. Now, I'm just going to take all of this, set it in the sink over here. Okay, now I'm going to make it an even layer. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Just going to make this an even layer. Make sure everything is coated. Then we're going to stick it in the oven just for a few minutes. It doesn't take that long. I preheated the oven at 350. Okay, we'll just sit this spoon here because we might need it again. So, we're just going to let it roast for a few minutes. I'm going to get a bowl so we can plate it. Like I said, I need to work on my plating. We're going to get the nice bowl. Where's the bowl at? We have the bowl. Like I said, I need to work on my plating. I chose this bowl. One of them, usually I use a white bowl because usually when I cook, I want to see it pop. So that's orange, so it'll pop against the white. That's helping in my plating versus a dark dish. I don't think it will pop as much versus in a dark dish versus the light dish. So yeah, I'm learning a little bit more about plating. But since we're just doing the squash today, I don't have any more color to add to it. But if I was doing it with as a side dish, I could add maybe some greenery to it, or maybe something yellow, something just to help brighten it up a little bit, instead of just plain old brown. You know, what they say though, Anne Burrell, brown food tastes good. But sometimes you want a little color, you know, to spruce it up. I was just checking. I never set the timer. I should have set the timer. But we're just going to wait a few more minutes, and then I will check it. It should be tender enough for us to eat and try. And then that'll be what? Squash number 3 down. That's the delicado squash, the spaghetti squash, and the butternut squash. Those are 3 good squashes. Like I said, they have a lot of different squashes. Few more minutes to check it. I'll be right back. Just don't go away. Just a couple more things I think I might want to get. I think I might want to add just a finishing salt on it. I think I'm going to add just a little finishing salt. I like to, you know, the fresh ground. And then I also like the pink Himalayan salt. Yes, I like the pink Himalayan salt. It is not the regular iodine salt, but I have different kinds that I like. I also like this one. I also like this one from Sam's. This is the Sam's brand. I kind of ran out of this one, but I have this one on hand. I'm going to have to go to Sam's and pick it up. Sam's is one of my stores. But this, you know, salt is a little bit better than the iodized. This doesn't raise your blood pressure as much. And, you know, it's also good like kosher salt. Kosher salt is really not as bad as the regular salt. Sea salt. This is sea salt. I've been trying to think of the name of it. Sea salt. And I also have it, a Himalayan pink salt. I also have it in this form. I also have it in this form. This form is where you have to take your, where is it at? I have one of those. I don't see it. But, oh, here it is. This one, you use your microplane with this one. All you have to do, you just take a rock out. Let's see if it's open. We'll see if it's open. Oh, it's open. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to pick out a chunk of it. This is the Himalayan salt, sea salt, but it comes in chunks. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to use it with the plane instead of using the already grated one. I'll put these back over here so we can try something new today. Okay, now I'm gonna check on the squash. Let's see how this squash is doing down here. Oh yeah, I can probably pull this out now, yeah. Like I said, it only needed to stay in for a few minutes. It only had to stay in a few minutes because I had already steamed it. Okay. So we're gonna get this out. Sit that up there. We don't want the oven door going off again. I just want to show you, give you a quick smell-o-vision before I put it in the bowl. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? That looks like sweet potatoes, but it is butternut squash. Oh, that smells heavenly. So, we're going to put that one over there. Now, this is what I wanted to show you. I wanted to just add just a little bit of sea salt, finishing salt. So I'm just going to take the microplane. I don't know if you can see it. It's coming through. Just a little salt. Just a little bit. Yep, I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, it does. It's coming off. Here, I'll try to do it like this so you guys can see a little bit in the bowl. Here, let me see. Maybe you guys can see a little in the bowl. I don't know if you can see. You can't see that. But there is a little bit in the bottom of the bowl. Now, I'm just going to take a couple. I'm just going to take some. I'm going to scoop them in this bowl here. Looks kind of nice in this yellow, in this white bowl. Like I said, I'm kind of messy. I need to learn to plate a little better. Just going to put some more in here. Get a little bit of this brown sugar, cinnamon on the bottom. Put it on top. Put this, okay. I think that should be enough in the bowl. Now, plating. I'll be right back. One thing I learned, they say wipe the plates, and that's something I haven't been doing, is wiping my plates. Nope. Okay, now, how does that look? Okay, now we are ready to try it. Let's find one we don't think is hot. It's hot. Now, here's the taste test. You know what? I don't taste any difference in a sweet potato. It tastes exactly like a sweet potato. Hey, I'm telling you. First time, butternut squash, guess what? I will be making it again. Delicious. If you like what you see, click the thumbs up. If you want more, hit the dinner bell. You can leave a comment. We can discuss things. You know, you might have something you might want me to fix or something you saw prepared that you didn't like or you didn't understand. Subscribing is free. And you know what? If you like it, you can even share. That would be nice also. So, everybody stay safe. Don't you stay positive, and you have a good time. Next time, we'll try some more squash. You have a good day.